if it has started yet, thank you for joining my live. I am Tammy Walker from boxyqueens, and I am now working on the next project, which is From Dusk Till Dawn diorama. So here we go. Yay! Today I had to go drive into town and I broke my glasses. So I had to go drive to town and get my glasses, looked at. And they're under warranty, so I will be able to get new glasses. And I'm excited about that. And they can't give me the same glasses I had before. So she called me after I left and said, "Come back. They don't have the same glasses. You have to check out these other ones." So I just went for the pure Buddy Holly Black. That's what I ended up doing again. That is fine. And this time I added transition lenses to my glasses because it'd be easier motorcycle riding, wouldn't it be? I think so. All right, I've got this lady here I just worked on the other night for a few minutes real quick. Put it down. She looks great, but not great enough. What I usually do at this point is I'll take her and I'll flip it upside down. And I always suggest when you're doing portraits, oh, everything just fell out, that's okay. I suggest when doing portraits to do things upside down. I printed out some pictures. I'm piecing together my own design. It's something that they don't, is not available, so I have to make my own design up. And I like these two colors. This is pink, baby pink, and the best paint ever, burnt sienna. During the big illness times, this was very difficult to come across, and I use this for every acrylic painting I do. So, I ended up paying like $5 for this once, so online to get this. So I bought a couple extra just in case. And what I'm doing is my picture doesn't really show much of her side of her face. That's okay. We're just gonna put that in the Payne's Gray. I was still stuck on Payne's Gray on the burnt sienna. Since I finished my New York City painting this last week, that is drying and hanging out, and my Truman Show project also got finished. So I should do longer videos on those, but I don't have time because I really want to come back and start making more art. So what I usually do is I've got this upside down and I see we've got problems there. Let's pull out just put some black out here. Yeah, I should put this in a smaller container, but we'll just dip it right in. Dip it in there, put it on top. Okay. So what I see here is her chin. We need to put that line so it comes out, and we're gonna have to do a little something to darken this area up. But for now, we're just gonna fix that chin up a little bit more. And it looks good over here. Let's see this side angle. So what I usually will do is I'm looking for, watch one person go yesterday, and now I'm gonna forever do that. Great, no. All right, I'm gonna bring this side down, and then there is a tiny little loop in here. I should do the camera so you could see what I'm doing. Thanks, Yoli Kid. Thank you very much. So what I'm doing is just gonna hold this up here, and that little dip in is right where her teeth should be. So that dip in should right where her teeth should be. So I'm gonna go like this. It's okay if I don't make it perfect right now. And then I'm gonna come down, and I see that little lump on the side of her cheek right there. That is above her nose a little. So we're just gonna go up a little bit more and then in. Okay, in by the eye, closer to the eye. Let's go do that. Let's do that. And never expect to do these perfect the first time. Take some time to go back and forth and work on it. It's not a big deal. Okay, then we need to bring her, see, I got this at that angle, this at this angle, so we'll just bring that in just a little more. There we go. Just a little angles, there we go. And this is acrylic paint I am using. And I'm just gonna push that out like that. Very good, very good. So that's one thing I can do. So it's a little messy, of course, right now. It's not perfect, of course, but stay tuned. As we go, it just will get better and better. Where are all my good paintbrushes? This is my dual paintbrush it broke, so I taped it together. It's pretty cool. You can do tricks with it. All right, let me get my other, I have more brushes, but these are the ones that I have right by me that I just keep in case I'm doing quick work. So none of these are that great, but you know. This one is good. Let's try this one. This one looks really bad. Let's do the bad one. That's the best one to work with. Make it really hard on myself. That way, later on, I'll be like, oh, this is easy. Because I did the hard part first. I used the worst brush first. All right, I'm putting in the pink. We're just covering up. It's more of a cover up. We're just gonna go and I'm gonna follow that line and smooth it out. Ugh. And I don't want a lot of brush strokes, you guys. So what I'm gonna do is, okay, I pulled off those thick paint lines. All right, okay. Yeah, that's what I did. All right, looking better, looking better. Just getting that thickness in there. Let's put a little bit on here too, just to get a little bit of that color in there. We don't have it perfect yet. We don't have those lines perfect yet. But this is just one of the many ways that I paint. The other way I would do this is I would blow up the picture this size and I would get some tracing paper and I would trace the picture on here, you guys. So thank you, Annabelle. Thank you so much. Thank you, Erica. It just takes practice. Sometimes I think I'm horrible drawing and then I draw again and I'm like, oh, I'm not so bad. Drawing is not my best suit, but it gets me. I think with paint and drawing, you kind of figure it out together. They're gonna go together. All right, we've got that. So I was talking about just doing everything really quick upside down. I'm gonna put a little bit on her cheek too. Just a little bit here. Just get that there. I don't have any raised spots. It looks good. Let's put a little bit more up here. All right. Okay. And let's flip it. Let's flip it. And just take a look. Ah, it doesn't look so good. But that's what we are working on. Here we go. As we go back and forth, I'll start to notice things like I feel like this brow piece is a little bit, needs to go a little higher here. And what else? Her eye is good, but I feel like it's too much. We need to bring this section down. And her eye is too big, of course, but I feel like that's why working on it back and forth isn't going to hurt anything. I'm nervous because doing this in front of a camera can be very intimidating, as you can imagine. Because, you know, I'm usually by myself not talking and painting and I'm working and I'm focused. Here, when I'm on camera, I'm not as focused. And I tend to, I think, get anxious and nervous. And I think that's normal. That's just normal. All right, I'm looking and this part goes like this, okay? And I'm saying we just keep going back and forth till we get it right. Like, I need to put some sort of lightness right here for her eye, but in the picture he doesn't see anything, but we get use our imagination and make it work. And then we have to get the right position for the eyes. So another thing too I've noticed is, let's go here. I'm looking at her eye and it looks like a little bit more like this, and then, oops, there's a paint booger got on my brush. Just a little bit as we go. Okay, just a little. I'll stop there. Still needs a lot of work, but that's how we're doing it. We're just doing it slowly across. Now she's gonna have that snake's head. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll just use black. It's not going to be in my main color, but I'm just gonna use black, and it's really hard to film. I'm trying to figure out. And just kind of outline the things I want. Snake head right here. Okay. So I'll do the snake head here, and then he comes down. And this snake is actually albino. So I will be doing it in like a yellowy white, maybe a little bit of pink in there. We'll see what it looks like. I've just recorded the movie onto my phone, parts that I needed, and then I took screenshots of those pictures. that I wanted, and then I'll add those together. Okay, so we got the snake. Non-poisonous snakes have the roundy snout, or venomous, and venomous snakes have more of a pointy viper snout. I could do like a little cartoon fun and give him a little cartoon face, but not for this piece, I think. We'll just save that for another day. All right, so I'm just, see how I'm just kind of put this in. I'm just kind of, you know, trying to put everything in here. There we go. Just give me a basis. And then I think she has a choker on here. Or I'll have to look at the movie. See, it looks like a choker on her, but it looks a little low to be a choker. More like some sort of low necklace. So maybe it was like down like here or something. All right. Let's talk about how I put this on. And we'll flip it to the other side and work on Juliette Lewis. I just learned last year that Juliette Lewis's father was one of my favorite actors. And I was like, what a small world. What a small world. Her father was in a lot of Clint Eastwood, like anything, any which way but loose, and a lot of Westerns. And so I thought that was interesting. Okay, what I'm doing is using a watercolor pencil. Watercolor pencil is the only way to go, you guys, because pencils will leave a dark smudginess, and then when you try to paint over it, it kind of just like, you can see it, and you have to put more paint and more paint. Watercolor, if you mess up, you can just wet your finger down and wipe it off. So super easy that way. All right, Juliette Lewis is got to hold a the crossbow. So I have to make allowances to put that crossbow in here somehow. So I'm just going to figure out, we're just going to figure out how we go. Now Juliette Lewis has long neck, so we might have to change this up a little bit here. Got a long neck like me. Oh, maybe we're out of, maybe we're already out of bounds. Maybe I gotta go lower. Okay, let's see. I think I do. She's gonna be too high up, I think. Let's grab some, dip some water in, and erase. All right, okay, see, we're good. See, I just wanted to show you how easy it was to clean that back up again. Hello, video dude. Thanks for joining. All right, so let me put this maybe down like that. I've got all these lights here, but it seems dark, doesn't it? 'Cause, I mean, there's so many lights around here. The more lights you have, the darker it is. All right, now we're gonna go back to Juliette Lewis again. We want her probably around this part then, okay? So I'm gonna go, and I don't ever try to expect the best when I do these traces. Now, like I said, sometimes I'll just trace the actual picture. I'll print it out and then trace it on and paint. Or if I'm doing like beaded artwork, I will do the beaded artwork and I'll put it underneath the bead so I can see. So that's just an example of some of the things you could do. Now, I want her head to be the same size as the others. Very important that I better go check this out right now and measure, because we want consistency. And I'm going to go to the top of her hair to her chin. We want consistency in this, so. Well, yep, see, look at that. Right there's wrong. Top of her hair to chin. Okay, that's not a problem. Look at how easy it is to fix it. Okay, I can do more, whatever. Here we go. So we want her chin in here. She has such a neat little chin. It's more like this. It's like, boop, boop. And then we'll come up to the side. He'll come up here. And is this the top of her head? Or, yeah, if that's the top of her head. I don't have the top of her head in my picture. So I'm going to come down a little bit more and bring, she's got some owie there. And come down. And then I'll come over here. And then come back down. And then go down, do. And then we'll come back over here like this. Okay, that look bad. That look bad, you guys. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. No, I'm just kidding. There we go. Clean that up around the edges. All right, there we go. let it dry. So the next time I put this on, it will be better. All right. So with my glasses broken, at least I bought these backup glasses a couple weeks ago, thankfully, because it's going to take 3 to 4 weeks for my glasses to come in. And so, you know, when I bought my Meta glasses, I really wanted them for filming and music, because I listen to music all the time. And for filming, it's fine, but it only does 3 minutes at a time. And they don't stream. And they don't point specifically at the item you're looking at. I hope the new ones that they upgraded that I'm getting, because my glasses broke, so I get the upgrade version, I guess, works out for me. All right, now she's got that young, larger forehead like I had when I was a kid. We're gonna just do these rounds. Sometimes I'm better at just putting the paint on with paint, making them look realistic, than drawing. Sometimes the drawing is just for, you know, perimeters, because you could think it's right, but then that's why I say I always turn these upside down and paint and see what they look like. Okay, so some things is the corner of your mouth to your eye. Corner of the mouth to that part of her eye. Right there. Okay, these are little things that you see as you go through. Not everybody has that. Some people have larger corners, and some people have shorter, so you don't know. This one, it goes way out to over here, to this part of her eye. So like that. And then this one, wee, wee, okay? And then we have a little boop right there. Yeah. I'm sorry, it's cracking me up. Okay, we want to bring her lips up a little bit. Let's get her nose in. Her nose. Let's do some examples of what I do. Okay, I'm like, okay, her eyes go across from that point to that point. Okay. From her brow down goes her eyes to her top lip. So the distance from her eye to eye should be to her top lip. See, that's wrong. You can see. Yeah, so we have to do a lot of little change ups in here. All right, but that's what I'm saying. These are little things that we'll figure out as we go. I did Selma Hayek in like 5 minutes the other night, and here I am struggling like I've never drawn before. But I think that as you go, you'll start to just pull it together. You don't have to stop and be like, that's good enough. You can keep going and make it better and better as you go. So what I want to put here is I wanted to put the crossbow that she has here. And every scene that she's in the crossbow, it's like in her face almost. It's like this. So I want to bring it down down to here. So I have to do a little looking on that too and see. So a lot of little fun things. Hold on. I ran in here to do this just in time. So I had to go get my glasses replaced. I had to drive back and pick out new glasses because my old style they discontinued, which is really sad. So they only offer black now, which is fine. So I ran in here as fast as I could. I didn't even get my 3 miles in today. I will do that after this. I have been doing 3 miles a day for about 5 days a week for a little over a month now, and I lost 5 pounds. But I gained only that 5 pounds during January. What I don't understand how. I don't feel like I ate more ate more food or money, but all right, we're looking good here, Juliette Lewis, but I see with paint it's a lot easier. I can just bring my paint down and then kind of do my nose and go from there, you know. So it's little things like that that you see as you go. And then we really want to bring her face a lot thinner too on this side. So I'm going to take a second, hold my breath. Now, she looks like about right here. She's going to come in and it's a round in, and then it comes down and she's got that round lower like jaw area. All right, see, we come in and we come into her chin, and her chin, even though it comes under here, it has this little point like this. It's really important because that's how that makes her look like Juliette Lewis. And we've got these lips are wrong. Get some more water. You know, every time I buy a water sprayer. Every single one of these I buy, it breaks. So, that's my life. Okay, hold on. Calm down. We're gonna fix these lips too. See, as we're starting to put things together, we're gonna start to see that things just aren't right. We want it better. Oh yeah, I just finished shoveling snow. Tom, are you in the huge snowstorm of the Northeast? They've been talking about it. Saturday, so my son was coming to go motorcycle riding with us this last weekend, and every day of the week it snowed. And I said, I don't know if you should come, because he has come over the past because it snowed. And finally I said, just come over, The morning we're gonna go motorcycle riding, it is a blizzard here at my house. It is snowing like crazy. And so we said, okay, we'll just go anyway. We drove up there and there was no snow like 5 miles past my house. That way. So there's no snow where we were going. And as we were riding, we had a great time. It was like 41, 42 degrees. All of a sudden it got real cold and it started snowing. So that was our day. And I only crashed twice, but they were like one of those types of crashes where like, oh no. See, I was going to put the video up of it on YouTube, but I don't think a lot of people want to watch me like ride motorcycles. But I do want to keep the video, so I'm going to put it up and put it in private mode, I guess. So I'll always have a video of me. But you can see my gentle jump off my bike crashes. No one got hurt. I can't get hurt anymore, actually. So, but there it is. Oh yeah. Wow. There's a lot of snow there, huh? That's so cool, though. You can make awesome snow forts and snowmen. I hope you're doing that all day long. I really do. Making snowmen and snowboard. I hope you're doing that. That would be awesome. Oh, I will show you a few other things about this before we go any farther. Okay, so here is the inner area. And what I did the other day is I put toothpicks in each row and I put glue. So these are all glued together, nice and strong. This will go up here at the top, to the top, and I will bring in this more. And this has to come out a little bit farther. This is the top piece that goes up in here. And then I will put a section down here, and then I'll cut out the section and then put out also the stairs that come down here for the diorama. So that will look really good. And then like I said, I'll just go around real quick. We've got Selma Hayek just started on here. She's looking really good. And these are the plans that I had made. So I wrote all my plans out, you guys, for everything. So there's all my plans. I'm going to put that piece of paper there. I do keep my plans and put them in books. So here, there isn't a picture of Selma Hayek in this position. So I'm making it together off of this piece here that I've picked and some other pictures that I have already. So I thought I'd print this out in case I was going to do a live show. So I'll get all these kind of straightened out to see. I don't really see her face here, but Selma Hayek has a very symmetrical face. Symmetrical is the word I'm looking for. And so I think that would be perfect for me to just go ahead and finish out painting it. And her teeth are not going to look like that, of course, or anything. But this shows me area space. Like I said, I did all of this the other day in about 10 minutes. I did it very quickly. But when I start to film myself in front of an audience, I really slow down. All right. Another thing I noticed, let's see here. I don't like this section. I want to look at here. I'm looking, I'm measuring, I'm eye measuring. And where does her eye drop at? Her eye drops down right here. See, I feel like we do need to puff out a little bit. Okay, hold on. The problem is her hair shadow's right here. So even though her jaw comes up into here, it disappears. Her hair shadow's right there. And then this area comes back down again like this. And then that hair shadow starts. So I have to keep my eye on those little things as I go through. And put a little bit of chin work right there. And then this here, we could bring this out. It comes out like this. Just like that, just like that. There we go, there we go. All right, little things like that. I think the pink and the burnt sienna are a really good combo for this, but I might also have some oranges too. And here are some oranges that I brought out to see if they would work for what I'm doing. So we'll see. This one has been kind of the snake for now. Just kind of undertone, we'll put that there. Get those shaped up because you don't use those often. What I should invent is a container that automatically shakes your paints every, what do you think? Like every 7 days, and it gives everything a like a whole container, because I have hundreds of these and I would not like them to dry up, and certain colors will dry up more than other colors too, quicker. So, but it'd be nice to keep those around. All right, what else is happening here? Let's keep going on this. All right, so we're just working on that. You see, I see there's a lot of eye problems still, like especially in here, but I don't really see much, so I'm have to kind of piece it together and use other pictures to go. This here looks a lot like this, the snake orange. See how I'm using this orange, the pink, and the burnt sienna on here? How well these colors go together. So I like these oranges for the back here too. Maybe we'll do that. We'll have to look more at those pictures in the past and see. So those are just some examples. This is the secret hole. There's a lot of space in here, you guys. I mean, I could put all kinds of things in here, but reality is maybe I thought you should just make 2 dolls of George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino and just put them in the back here like voodoo dolls. Is that a good idea? Oh yeah, the cars. I'll show you where all my cars will go. I should take a picture of it and have it for my show. All right. Oops, sorry, I kicked that around. I was trying to grab my box. All right, so the top here, let's bring it up. So at the top, we're going to have a lot of these type of vehicles. Or whichever direction they were in. I think something like this. Okay, that's what's going to be up here at the top. Sorry if I don't have quite the examples on my head. And then these truck trailers, they'll be kind of hanging down like that. So when I glue this in, I'm going to take foam and I'm going to fill in the back so it doesn't have this empty spot back here. And of course, I do just have to come up higher and still make that bottom section and put that in. Fill this in, fill the sides in, and then I'll put some foam around the edges here to a point. So I use the picture I have and work and foam these out. So these will be coming down around the edge here, and these will be up top, and this will be right here. But I won't be able to make this, I think this will be like this actually. I don't think I will be able to do much about looking for my motorhome. About the front, like, I'm not gonna make it as dramatic as the movie because this is the point of it, is the back here. So if I make the front like the movie, that's a whole different diorama style. And like I said, if you watch the movie, the front scenes, in the front, there's 2 side step buildings out to the side. But when you look at the back, the last scene, there is no side buildings. It just looks like this. So I've committed to doing that last scene. So here, I'm opening up I ordered this. It's not the right year, but it'll do. It's a motorhome. Sorry, Hot Wheels packaging. Maybe I'll recycle you into a house in the future. Get all that off. This one is 90 something. So we got a nice little motorhome, brand new. It's so cute. I seen a little trailer at the thrift store and I almost bought it. It was $20. It was a little camp trailer, 20 bucks. So I got plenty of these semi-trucks, beds. And I even have a really much bigger one, which I don't think that's gonna go with the scale. So this one won't go in, but these will go. And I just have, you know, some semi-trucks that go with the Snapple there. So those are some examples. The motorhome will be just sitting here. And in this part, I'm going to put an LED light, and I'm gonna do just a gentle faux of the front to look like the Dusk from Dusk Till Dawn diorama. It's not gonna be exact. I don't have neon lights and miniature, you know, so I'm gonna do the best I can. But I'm gonna put a light in here and it's going to shoot out. The light will shoot out back here onto this little motorhome, and there should be a light up on your wall. This is a wall hanging diorama. One of the things I thought about this, which would be super great, let me put all this away, but this is really going too far, is if I made hell underneath this. So taking this diorama idea and putting a foam, but putting an underground cave that attaches to this underneath in a opposite of the pyramid, and make it look like hell with all kinds of little things. I could even make little people and stuff, but I felt like that was just pushing it. I was just going too far with that. And like I said, I wanted to commit to just doing that one section. So that is what is happening with the Dusk Till Dawn diorama. Super happy about it. So yeah, we'll get that going, and I said this is going to be super easy. The longest part is going to be the painting of the women, and then I have to decide also, do I want this gritty, or do I want this clean, or do I want, you know, there's so much that they would be recessed in the piece. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the on the bottom is cool. So there's so many ideas. Like someone suggested I put Helen in the back, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like I have second guessed this very many times about, am I doing this the right way? But yeah, I always remind myself these are for my Hot Wheels, and that's important to remember, that because these are for my Hot Wheels, then this will work fine. And so, hello, Shiva. Thank you so much. Shivan Sharma. Thank you. So, you know, so I have to remember that that's the commitment I'm going with. So it's okay if everything's a little off. But yeah, this is going to look pretty good, getting it up there and doing that, and then filling in the back. And then I had to get sand. I ordered sand, and it came in a small container. And it was laughable. I put it in my pocket and walked around because that's how funny it was. So we had to go to the store and get some sand. And luckily, I mean, our bag had a little hole in it, and the guy gave us to half off. I mean, I saved $4. Woo! But you know, it's anything to have a good day, I guess. Little things like that. My dad, do you remember me saying, Dad, make me a slingshot? He made me a slingshot. Isn't that awesome? He has to get the tubes for it, so you can put it in. But he also sent me a slingshot. So I have a slingshot to go. I have my little BBs. I thought about mounting this onto my motorcycle, but I don't know if I can legally do that. But it would be cool to have that there. So now I've got my slingshot. So I'm ready to go. All right, awesome. I'm gonna take this thing out, put it over here. Now all this foam is because my son found a building that had tons of stacks of these foam. They're like 2 foot by 4 foot sections, like taller than your house stacked up. So he brought them home. So I have enough foam to last for the rest of my life. There we go. Unless I do a lot more dioramas, then that's a good question. All right, back to Juliette Lewis, and we're just getting her put in here, right? I always like her unusual face. She has such a neat and interesting face. she's so pretty, and I like her attitude as an actress. Was she? I always forget. Was she in Natural Born Killers? Because I really love that when she punched that person in the face. That was a great movie moment for me. All right, so we've got right in here, and at this line we have nostrils. And this is a watercolor pencil, and which is much better. Okay, so we've got our nostrils here, and she's got a point right there, and then she's got a little line right here. That line is equal to this here. Okay. Then she's got her eye coming down, and I don't think that's a good example of her eye. I'll look at other pictures and get that just right. This is where, if I was to actually paint this just like this, it wouldn't look like her. So I have to make sure that even though I'm using this as my example, it's not going to look like her. So I will have to get another picture out and just alter it just a little bit so you see. So sometimes that happens when you pick pictures of people that like their eye is off just enough. It just kind of doesn't quite resemble the person if their eye is being shot by the camera in a different way. And it may look a little different. Yeah, that's it. All right, go across like here. Up here. Yeah. Okay. I'm just overthinking, I think. And then we have this dark space in here. Her eyebrows just kind of barely just above her eye in this view. She got up and we come down at this angle. And then here, her eyebrows come like this and like this. She had chicken pox or something as a child and is missing part of her eyebrow, because that's what happened to me. I'm missing part of my eyebrow from a chicken pox scar. So mine like right in there. That just reminds me of that. Probably not, it's just probably normal, but you never know, some of those weird little things. Okay, now we have a shadow that comes up here and it cuts in like that. It's good to put the shadows in, and especially these little lines, just these little tiny lines, because those will give you perspective better off in the whole picture. Okay. Now, see, her nose comes out, and it comes out like here, you know. Yeah. Okay, so now we want her lips. So we have this to here, and then right underneath her lips is her little, what do you call that little thing right there? I always forget the name for it, but that thing there. And then we're going to go up to the corner, which is right underneath this one, and we're going to come slowly down. And where does I say that ended up? Right there by her eye. And we went right down to that point, and that's where her lip ended there. And she has this nice little, she has that little happy joker up like that on her lips on the side. So we want to make sure we have that there. This side is kind of going a little down. There we go. I always notice that because I actually have scars right there on the corner of my mouth from when I had really bad hive outbreak many years ago from peanuts, and it scarred me in several places on my face, but the corner of my mouth definitely. So I do notice that stuff. All right, that's a good example, but I feel like this one comes down low, that comes high. That's an example, and then this one is more brooding. This is a more brooding look over here, and then she got that cute bloop bloop bloop. All right, good example. And then she comes out here. Now this is another thing I've noticed. Bring this line down. Oh, if I bring this line here down, her cheek shouldn't be there. Okay, so that's it. We'll just move her cheek in more because we see that. Shouldn't be like that. And then we're going to bring her neck into this section. Her hair comes around her right here. And then we'll see, boop, 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 boop. We'll go back over here and then down. And then this is a line that comes over here. And then we go loop, 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 over there. And then this one, I feel like we need more chin down here. But over like this, I think we'll get it. We'll get it. Juliette Lewis, I looked her up not too long ago. I guess she once dated Brad Pitt. I don't know who she's with now. Those are just some little facts about Juliette Lewis. That's all. All right. Okay, we're getting along. We're getting along. All right. Yeah, the grid works. Yeah, the grid will definitely work too. Is a great way to do it. I think over time, you know, definitely. Oh, I was gonna ask you, Tom, did you get to finally see the Sloth 7 diorama my friend made? That was quite a journey because I wish that we could share better things on YouTube. Like, that video was really great. I wonder how I could share that with my audience. But, you know, whereas on like TikTok, you can just repost it and it comes back out and everybody can see it. But boy, that was hard. I was like, email it. Hey, my friend, can you send me a link on my page? Yeah. All right. Let's see. I'm going to come down and I'm going to look, and this has got just a gentle wave in. All right. So what I do sometimes is I'm tired of drawing. So I'll get out my Ninja paintbrush, and I'm just going to go ahead and start like guesstimating, and I'll just start putting it out. I just want to make sure I don't have any high ridges on there. So I'll just smear it out. And then we'll come down here and we'll go. Now, when I'm not filmed, do I make these little doo-doo noises? Yes. Just let you know. All right. And Juliette Lewis, top of her head, that's a tough one. Does she have a widow's peak? She looked like she kind of has a widow's peak, but this is where she's got some damage to her head right here. So you've got a little gel blood pack right there on her head. So, and until I see the top of her head, we're just gonna go like that. All right, this paintbrush, we're gonna put you away for a minute and get out. I hate soft brushes, they just don't do it. Oh! I did write their channel name down, just in case. Martin is the first name, and then Maqueta is last name. I believe that's the whole thing. Now, they do a lot of dioramas, so look through their little sections really quick first, because they might already be several videos down. And check them out, Martin Mac. But they did the 7 diorama and is very awesome, so check that out. And let's see, what else? Oh, I'm getting out the different brush now. That's right. All right, I'm gonna bring this. We don't need to do anything over here. We don't need to really do anything here. We can come up like this if we want. Just any little things that make us feel like we're adding specialness to our paintings, we can do that. Juliette Lewis has really beautiful, unique eyes. What I find is imperfection is the most beautiful, and Juliette Lewis is not symmetrical, but that's what makes her so beautiful. And she has such a unique look that it is fun to paint people with unique looks. It's like taking photos of people on the street that are unique looking. You just, regular people just don't have the face for it, You gotta have that unique face. And there's people in my life that I'm sure would love to have pictures painted of them, but their faces need character first. I think sometimes you need character in your face. And we're just gonna kind of roll around. We're just rolling around. We're just gonna guesstimate. See, I think if you ever remember, like 10 years ago, there was a person that was really popular for putting, doing pictures really small, and they started out a certain way, and then all of a sudden the picture slowly pieced together, and then all of a sudden it was Obama. I think that's what it was. And that's kind of what this is. You just kind of piece and piece and piece it together until you get to that, what you want. All right. You know, luckily she is also wearing a pink shirt. So that's kind of ironic in a weird way that I'm doing this in pink and burnt siennas. I'm dipping into this giant thing. Oh, let's see. Juliet and the licks that she got. I have got to look at that. Make sure I spell everything right, because I think I spelled her name wrong on my thing here. I might have done it right. I don't know. One of the first things that goes is punctuation. The next thing is your spelling when you get older. I don't know, man. When I was a kid, I was one of the best spellers. I could spell everything. Now that I'm older, I'm like, how do you spell how? Or the worst is I've been getting now and no mixed up in my spellings. Why? Why? Oh, it's frustrating. All right, so we did that, and over here we can't see anything, so I'm just gonna stop and there we go, Oliver, okay. I already primed this with gesso, so that's what is gone on. Now I'm gonna pull out this pink, and boy, part of her face makes me want to do it because it is orange. Part of her face is orange. It's not this orange, but if I put this orange down for her face and then I come through with this lighter orange, it will really pop the highlights out. So we'll do that. Yeah. I'm like looking like I know something here. I don't know anything. I just paint. Painting. Yeah, it's slow too. It's a slow go getting her slowly. Like Selma Hayek, I mean, I could see that she kind of looked like her. She was starting to look like her, but there was something a little off still, you know? And that's what, at the beginning of a show, I showed everybody how I turned this upside down and how you can really piece eye measurement. And it just comes together every time. It may not look like at first, but over time, things will just start to look really good. It takes a little bit of time. I could have cheated and just done the, like I said, stenciled this and traced it like I do with a lot of my projects. But the other night, everybody was sleeping. I didn't want to go to the printer, and I just started working. I feel like this brush just let me down the second I got paint on it. It let me down. All right. Let's try this brush in. This brush, look at my hand. This brush is lame. All right, let's do it. But it might help us better. Now I see here, we need a more space over here. We need about, her eyebrow stops right at the edge. See, her eye, it comes out a little farther like this. And that means her eyebrow should stop about, right about there. Okay, and then it looks like we need to pull away that black just a little bit. All right, all right. It's these little things that you figure out as you go. Let's grab that pink. Let's put some pink with that, just for now. It ain't gonna hurt it. But that pink has a little bit more of a opaqueness than the orange, so it'll do a better cover up. Is that the word I'm looking for? Opaqueness? Last year was a great word. This year, I don't know. There we go. Just get that, and it helps cover that up just a little bit more. So we've got that orange. It looks good. And let's see here. That orange comes under her eye right here to there. And then it goes like that. And then we have that darker burnt sienna. Let's pull that out. Why not? Let's just do it. I shouldn't dip my paints together like that, but shh, don't tell anybody. Here, we'll use this as our mixing thing. I have some mixer thing. I should just go in the other room and get it, but then I would have to walk away. All right, here we go. I see that her eye needs to come up now as I'm looking at this in one spot. So we're gonna go to here to there, and we're gonna stop. Let's get rid of this extra paint. It'll dry in minutes, so I don't have to worry about it. And then see how it comes up like here? See, so we've got to figure out, we want to come up, up like that. Very good. Got her eye coming out, and we got her eye down like this. Very good, very good. And then let's come over here to this other side, and her eyebrow is very close, so we don't need to take anything away. And then we're gonna do a little whoop and then in. Okay, let's get off that extra paint. And we're covering the space up too. Now I did think about putting some a filler down and smoothing all the wood out to make it look smooth and like glass, you know. But the reason I decided against that is I wanted to go for the gritty look. The grittier look is going to look really good. And that's what's going to happen, is where all these little holes and lines from this that you can see, when I'm done, I will water down my black, and I will show you what that will look like here. I'll water down my black. Let's see. And it'll fill those cracks. It'll just fall into those cracks, okay? Oh, that won't do it yet. Okay, but it'll fall into those cracks at the end, and it'll look really aged. And I think that's the goal we're gonna go for on this. I think it's going to look good like that. Let's see. I am not using oils on the portraits. Oh, yeah, I'm not gonna use oils on it. I'm gonna use acrylic because I can do it quicker with the acrylics. And even though it won't have that buttery tone, it's still going to look good. And the reason I'm going to do that with only oils and acrylics is because I will have to use a lot of paint on the front area and stuff. And so it's much easier for me to do the acrylics when I'm mixing with the sand back and forth. And I don't want any of my diorama to be shiny. My pet peeve about people doing dioramas is they leave parts shiny, which shouldn't be. Like, dirt isn't shiny, dirt is matte. And so a lot of times, that's why I have a matte sealer, and it's acrylic, is so if anything becomes shiny in the gluing process, I can use that matte sealer and cover the shine and get rid of that shine and get it back down to that normal matte color. So I'm like, don't forget to smile every so often. Smile, lady, come on, do it. All right. What was I here? I was over here. I was at this spot. All right, so here is where she's starting to get to the dark area. It's okay if I go out of the lines because, like I said, that black is going to be gone. It's just how I am. I've always said, oh, I'm going to do paintings with black outlines. And then when I'm done painting, the black outline is gone. And I'm like, well, I'll try doing another painting then. And then I do that, and then it's gone again. And I'm like, well, that's okay. We'll just keep working on it. All right, her nose is much more orange over this side. That is dark right there, but that's okay. We can still see through our lines, so it's okay. We can cover everything up and still see through all of our lines, so we're okay. We just don't want any stroke marks sticking up. She's very pink, much more pink on this side here. And even though her eyes are symmetrical across like that, that's very good. Excuse me. I think I got a little carbon monoxide poisoning or dioxide poisoning or whatever the one is. Carbon dioxide dye, carbon monoxide. There's a little thing that you're supposed to remember, right? Like, but I coughed quite a bit this weekend, so I'm okay now. Go, and then let's see here with, I'm just gonna keep putting this in. I'm not really gonna worry too much about her colors just yet. We're just gonna put this in, and then her forehead is, even though it looks a little too big, we'll fix that too. It's all about a fixing back and forth as you go. Okay, I'm just getting those colors in there, get them off my brush. Waste not, want not. Okay, if you go quickly, your colors will blend together. So if I can just go quickly, I can get these colors to look just about right and keep them wet. But I only have a few minutes. And you only have so much transparency, opaqueness to go to too. I scraped off a little chunk right there with my nail and the cover back up again. So, okay. I guess I'll be buying some matte sealer. Yeah, matte Mod Podge is what I get. Matte Mod Podge, specifically matte, because it is the most matte sealer. I really think so, yeah. Thank you, thank you. Yes, I will do more. I plan on doing some more lives because I really need to get my channel up. I got my 5,000 subscribers, and then someone unsubscribed, and then I got my 5,000 subscribers. I'm hoping somebody doesn't unsubscribe again. That was a roller coaster this weekend. I was like waiting for it. I was looking like every hour. Just have one last person for 5,000 subscribers. And then I got it. I was like, yeah. And then I look again, and then it went back down again. I was like, oh wow, that's okay. Yeah, I can see right now, like we need to bring this section down. So you can see when you take a moment and just look at stuff, you can really start to see like, you know, she almost has similar features to that Walter Goggins guy too. You know what I'm talking about. He's all the rage right now. That dude from The Hateful Eight and Fallout. That's what he's on now. Fallout. She has some similarities to him. Face shapes. You ever notice that certain people have shapes that are similar? I guess some people say that the person I kind of look like is probably 5 years ago. Now that I'm aged now, I don't look as much. The lady from Grey's Anatomy, there's a blonde woman there, and someone said I kind of look like her. Maybe. I thought I looked like Barbara Streisand. No, I'm just joking. I don't. Well, I feel like I don't look like anybody sometimes. That's what comes down, and you're like, oh. You ever come across an interesting face and you just want to stare at it, but the person was like looking at you like, what are you staring at me for? And you're just like, can't stop looking at their interesting face. Yeah, that never happens to me. I was just wondering if it happened to you guys out there. All right, so we're going to go down, and we see here that this definitely needs this lighter orange. She has light orange on several parts of her face. She has the light orange over here. It's almost a white, so we can do that later. We'll do that. She has it light down here. And we'll have to fix this part. I see this doesn't look right, so we'll fix that as we go. She has a pink neck with the burnt sienna. I need to get some purple out for the shadow, so I'll put purple in here so it looks more correct. That'll make a difference. And then we'll come down here and let's go across. And she just got that little thing there, so just pull that off like that. And she's really dark in here, so we'll just put our darkest paint for now. I'll probably get some browns out for that. And then back down to here again. It dried. Whoops. Don't spill no paint. Now, acrylic painters don't use these paints for their acrylic paintings, you guys. I am an oddball. I actually have hundreds of these acrylic paints. And because I do other things with these acrylic paints, I didn't want to waste my money and buy acrylic paint for painting. I just use these for all of my paintings, even my canvas paintings of acrylic, my dioramas, everything. They all go with these little craft paints here. They're $1 each, and you know, it just works. It all started with my mom's friend actually gave them to me, hundreds of them. I had a few myself, and so that's how it started with me using these acrylics, and just continue just to use them. And I do have acrylic paints for painting. I've never used them before. I just don't know if I would need to. Okay. More talking. Or less talking, more working, woman. Here we go. Okay, just gonna do this here. This eye should have a white speck, even though the picture doesn't show it. But we're gonna put a white speck. If you ever want the secret to making eyes, it's that white speck. That's how you make real looking eyes. You put that white speck in. That's not looking good at all, my friends, but that's okay. We're just going to work at it back and forth until it looks good. She's got this little hood spot over her eye, but it's almost invisible to the picture. So I'm going to do a little bit of that. It's like a little fold eye there. And then it comes down a little bit more like this. And then sometimes I'll water these down. I'll just stick it in the water like that, rub it around, and then just paint with the water a little bit. All right, and then this goes out like that. And that goes out to there, but I don't want it too close to that because we want to come over here and this eyebrow really close to that edge. And then this is more like this. It's more like that. And then down here, we can't quite see. We're just going to piece this together a little bit. And then come up. See, with the picture, it shows this all dark like this. It shows this whole thing dark. But do I want to do that in my life? I don't know. This one, the darkness is right here. Okay. And then that brow, we got that brow going out. And we got this brow. I was looking at my face in the mirror. And okay, so I don't know if people know this, but when you look at somebody in their face, you always, let's see here. Ryder, I did finish the New York City painting. It is drying right now. I painted all the sides and the top. I'm gonna let that dry, flip it and paint the bottom section again. And that is done. It's awesome. I'm so excited. Thank you for asking. So harder on your brushes and canvas? Do you use the same brushes for oil and acrylic? No, I have, you can use acrylic brushes for oil, but only once. Then they're oil brushes. But you can never use oil brushes for acrylic. And it's because, you know, water hates oil and all that. So these are what I call my utilitarian brushes because I just use them for glue and my acrylic paints. Now, yeah, they do get eaten up. This is a good example of one of my brushes that gets eaten up. I've gotten a lot of hate over this brush over the years. People are wondering why I don't clean my brushes, and it's because I don't need to clean this brush. It's for glue. So, yeah, I'll use like this for my acrylics and keep them separate. I have separate containers for the acrylics and the oil paint brushes. So, and another thing too is when you're looking at brushes, oil paint brushes are thicker and stronger. They're harder, whereas I'm trying to find it. Whereas some acrylics, I mean, this isn't a good example, really too soft. I think this is oiled too. But some acrylics are so soft they can't even pick up the oil off of the palette. So that's a good example of like keeping your eyes for the right brush, for the right job. And then, like I said, they don't always last that long. Now the wood is less gritty for ruining a brush than that canvas, I think. I can't prove it, but it feels like it. I see your point. Now I have to really think about that. I'm going to think about it. Because I've always just used, I'm going to think about this now tonight. I'll schedule to think about it tonight. Or I'll stay here all day thinking about it. As I go to sleep, I think about art projects. That way I can just fade off into night-night land. After this, I'll do my 3-mile walk, pick up some weights, get stronger, and back in shape for the year. All right, I gotta get those brushes clean. Hold on a second. I don't know what side I was painting on. All right, now we're back. She looks, this is what I call the ugly stage. This is the ugly stage. Where can you buy a copy of my painting? That's a good question. Writer, I will see about making it into a print, and then I'll put it on my website, boxyqueens.com. But I'll see if I can make that into a print. Sometimes taking a picture of them, no matter if it's a professional or not, it's just not, they're just never as good as the actual painting itself is true. But I'll see if I can make some prints out of that. I always tell artists that prints are the way you make your money. You can make your painting, but the prints are the ones that you sell. And but sometimes some things just don't turn out as good as other things. All right, I want to go ahead and tighten things up. I was like, you should try to act like there's no one watching, and then that way you can focus on your painting and you do a better job while you paint. And I'm like, that's a whole nother skill I have to learn now. Great. I'm just gonna get this one skill, and then I backtrack on the other skills that I've been trying to learn. And then I'm like, oh, no good. Let's get these mixed up here. She's got this really nice, oops. 3 coats of paint aren't enough to cover that. She's got this really nice little interesting face that goes like that. Once again, her hair shadows that one spot, and it makes it really hard. Do you guys know Rosanna Arquette is the coolest chick ever, that she has 2 rock songs written about her? Rosanna, Rosanna, Rosanna. And you want to know what the next song was written about her? Your eyes light the heat. Your eyes, I am complete. Your eyes. Yeah, that's how cool Rosanna Arquette is. 2 songs written about her. I wish I had a song written about me. What kind of song should it be? Folk art? Rap? Metal? Old style country? Pop? I like all that kind of music. I love rap music. Kind of grew up with rap music and heavy metal, so you can see how that kind of messes up your mentality as an artist. You're like, there's no middle ground. Love old country. It's a good question. Good question. All right. Facts, man. I want to laugh at how bad this is right now. Oh, I didn't turn the Look at how bad this is right now. Okay, hold on. Now, this isn't her lip color. This is Selma Hayek's lip color, but I need to put something in there. I always say the ugly part of paintings are like when I'm doing a painting and I'm in the ugly phase and people are like, oh, I want to see it. I'm like, no, you don't want to see it. It looks bad. It looks so bad right now. Please, Juliette Lewis, don't think this is how you're going to look later on. You're going to look so beautiful and wonderful. Trust me, lady. Trust me. Like Juliette Lewis is watching YouTube videos. And I'm just put that up there just to mix it out. When I'm doing oil paints, I will use for skin, I use burnt sienna, white, dioxide purple, rose red, which is like a pink. You can make it into a pink. And I think that's it. Pardon me. Sorry. Those are the ones I use. All right. Her eyes are not good. It's because of this dip right here. I see what's wrong. Before I add that, let's add this one little tiny tiniest section. Tiniest. This little dip goes out just a little bit more like that. Just, yeah. Oh, yeah. And then come down like this. And it touches right here. It touches that water line right there. Okay. Let's see what this other one still looks like. This other one just looks like a big black mess right there. So you can see. It's just a big black section. So it's really hard to say. So that's why I say I have to use more than just these pictures. But I felt for live, I'd just print these out and we'll do the show. Oh, I did over an hour already, you guys. Well, thank you guys for watching. I don't know if anybody wants to still stand here and watch me. Should I go off now? Should I just stay on here a little bit longer? I don't know. I do have to go walk 3 miles. Walk 10 miles on my hands and knees. Is that tough enough? I'm not a singer, so don't expect a beautiful song from me. Hold on. The eye is really hard to get right there. This is where I say go upside down. Go upside down. Now this part looked a little like, in fact, my image, it's a little fuzzy, hazy right there. So that eye is a little off. And there is no eye shine there, but I think the eye shine should be here. Let's see. Let's see. We're going to piece it together. You'll stay longer. Okay, we'll do it longer. We'll do it longer. Boop. Let's see what that looks like if we did the eye thing over there. She has good size eyes. I have noticed that. But they're not that great. They're not that big. I like to look at people and measure their eyes. And I've been doing that since my son was little, because when he was little, his eyes were really, really big. The pupil part. And so I started noticing other people's eyes, and I would make note of their size. And I'm sure it was always fun to have some random lady come up and say, hey, you have big eyes. All right, I'm gonna see how this works. I have to guess some of these areas out because they're not quite as noticeable. Hold on. That was very close. It's very close right there. Very close. Close, close, close. And then we have that water line coming down in through here, which is not going to stay that dark. We're going to lighten that up. We'll do that later. All right, and we're going to go down like that. You can see how when you just add that little bit of white, it really looks a lot different. Yeah, it doesn't even have the ugly look. Well, and that's how it is too. It can be. It can be a lot of ugly before you get to the beautiful. All right, and let me see here. This side is hard to see, but I think that it kind of goes like this. Let's go like that. If not, it's so easy to fix. She's got some great eyebrows. I actually got I'm not a beauty girl, but I did get an eyebrow pen just in case I needed to look good one day. And I said, now that I can't see up close, you know how hard it is to put eye makeup on when you can't really see without your glasses? It's like impossible. So I got this eyebrow pencil and I was trying to use it, and I felt like I look like Ronald McDonald. Because it's red, but it's like the same color as my hair, but on my eyebrows. My eyebrows are more of a blonde color, and I thought, oh gosh, it was just horrible. It was funny. I try. So instead, I'll just put some mud, throw it on my face. Can't go wrong with mud. Mud is the way to go. Go mud. All right. The chickens are doing great at my house. We have one rooster, and I actually got into a little confrontation with him the other day because he was bullying. I don't like bullying, and I won't take it. So I went over there and chased him away, and it embarrassed him all day so bad that the other chickens, they had made him, like, pushed him out of their group, and he had to spend the rest of the day in the chicken coop because he was embarrassed that I, like, showed him that I was the boss and not him, and he can't go around bullying the other chickens. So he was really upset at me and embarrassed. I thought that was kind of funny. Chickens, man, chickens. So they've been producing about a dozen eggs a day. There's just the two of us and a dog, and I'm allergic to eggs. So it's been quite a fun experience. Usually at the end of the week, and our neighbors, they grow eggs themselves. They have eggs too, so they don't need eggs. At the end of the week, we just crush them or break them up and cook them back up again and give them the chickens. That's about what we could do. I don't think we need it. We have the largest food pantry warehouse in the state, so nobody needs the eggs in town. Got a lot there. Maybe over time I'll find somebody. Maybe I'll see if the mail person would like some eggs or something, right? There's all these different ways we can give eggs out to the community. Because our family, they also have eggs, so they don't need eggs. All right. That was my egg story. All right. And right here is where we need, sometimes we just need to grab a little bit of white, mix it with what you got, add a little bit of white. Let's just do this here. And then a round, it needs to be more yellow, but that yellow will sit better on that white than it will sit on the darker color. All right, up to there. And then we need more of that darkness across. Let's see if we add burnt sienna and grab black, put them together, and what do we got? Black. It didn't really do much. Okay, so we're gonna do this just according to my sketch. Now, I really wanted to do this in the stained glass style. It doesn't mean I'm not going to. It just means that I need to probably make their faces first if I do still want to do the stained glass styling idea of the poster art. The poster art I was inspired by, I looked it up, and I don't think it's from the movie. It's actually from the TV series. So I might skip that design. But coming in and doing just this regular, see, I already see what's going wrong right here. So just coming in and doing this regular spot really makes a difference. Let's just do this. So you can see how piecing it together is just little areas at a time. Just little areas at a time. Now I feel like this needs to come up higher or what? Let's see here. Yeah, I feel like this area needs to pop right there, pop up higher. That means that white spot needs to go outside of the perimeter. That white spot looks like it needs to not even be where the eye was, almost outside of the eye zone. That's interesting. Let's grab this little bit of color real quick and see if we just cover that up and just do a little bit there, a little bit there. Okay, it's starting to come about. It's starting to come out. All right, hold on a second. Yeah, you can see we have a lot of things to work on as we go, but she's gonna look so good with those yellows and everything. And the thing is, what it is if you put enough paint on, it'll start to smooth out and it'll all start to come together really well, that if you make a mistake, it's so much easier to fix it now. Once you've gotten that smooth paint on, you're starting to put it on over and over again. Your color's just right. You know, we're gonna come across here. I feel like I grabbed the wrong brush again. Put it up into here. Let's get a little bit of that yellow onto her face right here. Get it up into that nose area. Let's go around the nose area. It looks like it should be more pink around here, but we'll do a little bit of both. Oops, outside the line right there. That's okay. And then over like here, okay, she's very, there's not a lot of lows right here, so let's make it up. Let's make up a low. A low is just a darker tone. I say lows and highs. I mean, so what I'm saying is darker tone, lighter tones. Other people would say something different, but I've just gotten in the habit of saying it that way. Get that, almost got that little line in there. Get it across. Let's get that. Let's put a line in for her nose. Like I said, that line goes right there at the corner, and it goes and then down and then over here. Okay, it's a good example for now, I think. Put that across the bottom, and let's go and try to figure out these noses. Let's just do a little bit of the noses. See if I had any black paint left over here. Onto this section. Take a deep breath. And exhale. All right, all right. Now I see her nostril here is lower right there. So I need to come down just a hair and bring this one lower. Oh, and I gotta double check. It's like right in that zone. I feel like it's over too much. You can fix it. Putting it in, taking it out. Putting it in, taking it out. That's pretty much the whole concept of putting in, taking it out. So I feel like these are off, but it'll come together in the end. In fact, let's do something crazy. Let's start at the corner of her mouth, and it's down here, and let's come up, and we're going to do the first lump down, and then it comes down, and then you can see her lip has a little thing right there, and then you come up again over here, over to this edge, and then up into that thicker area right here. This thicker area right here. And then it's more of, I have it inverted, soft, gentle, soft and gentle. Her lips are going to be a different color than this, but since I have it sitting here, I can manipulate these colors together and make the color I want. That's what's great about acrylic, is you can mix them pretty good, but you have to be fast about it. All right, the upper lip is darker. So let's add a little bit of black, I guess. And we're just going to fill in the upper lip. We're not worried about color. We're worried about blocking in the colors. All right. Mwah! She looks beautiful. She's coming alive too. Yeah. Let's see here. It'll be a good challenge to do as one of those colored sand paintings. Yeah. Why tempt me with such wonderful art ideas? Sand art. There are some arts I just refuse to do, and it's sand art. Right now, I'm just going to say it. No. It's just right along with that quilling. I've seen some really amazing examples of quilling art recently, and I was like, man, if I wish I could get that good at quilling. Oh my gosh, there were some amazing ones on Reddit. This one person did a UFO, and oh my gosh, it was just, I can't even describe how it was so many layers, and there were so many more designs to it than I thought before. I was just shocked about it. All right, I'm just gonna look at my container. I used to have another container for years and years and years and years, and it broke. So now I have to use this. I don't like those flared out tops either because I tend to spill stuff. Knock on my fake wood. Okay, this brush is being really difficult to get cleaned. There we go. Coming along. All right, let's see what we can do about let's just get the outline of her hair in, but let's start with some, well, it's orange on one side. It's orange over here, so let's just do this for now. Because we want to we want a background too. I haven't decided on the backgrounds yet. I am going to trim this wood out. So there's going to be a nice trim of wood around the top edge and the sides. Get this off of my brush. It's too much for her head. There's too much. That's okay. Let's pull that off here. Get that there. Get that off. And let's put a little bit on this side. I didn't make my video for today. Also, I don't know if I put my last video up of the stagecoach, but I've already did. Because I made the videos all in one day, and then I put my whole town away. I forgot to videotape my whole town. Well, the last video I did, instead of saying stagecoach, I kept saying station wagon. So I said, oh crap, I can't put that video out. There we go, there was the last video, you guys, at the end. I just could not. All right, this one, let's go to put some dark, we're just gonna put some dark around here just to close off her size of hair, because her hair is more like this, and then it comes out. And then the top we don't know yet. I have to go look at the tops in other pictures. We'll get the top right though. And then this is probably going to come down like that. All right. I'm just getting the stuff out of my brush and taking out on the lines of the paint. I don't want lines in the paint. And if that happens, I can just do this too to get the lines out. This is my pet peeve, is my lines in my painting. And so I've been coming up with new methods to keep that from happening and making a mental note about it. Good job. Okay, I think that we've done pretty good. Pretty good, you guys. Pretty good. She's got a lot to go. And plus, this is reverse. Is there a way to... Nope. I know there's got to be a way on here to flip. No, that's not it. I'm afraid to touch these buttons. Nope, that's not going to do it. Oh, this will do it. Ta-da! All right, there we go. See, she's coming along slowly. I can see from this angle she's looking pretty good. I do see this here. We need some work over here on this side of the face, but we'll get to that. I'll get to that today. It's looking pretty good. Loving it. All right, it's just slow and easy. Thanks you guys so much for watching my Dusk Till Dawn paintings as I go along. I should be back tomorrow. I'll have a doctor's appointment in the morning, but I should be back tomorrow. I have this large lump right here in my finger. I'm right-handed, and it has popped out. It was just like last week, and it really hurts. It hurts to ride my motorcycle. It hurts to write. It hurts to hold anything in my hand. So I'm going to go in and see what I can do about it tomorrow. Once you discover self-surgery, the possibilities are endless, but I think I'll just let a doctor look at it this time. So, all right, thanks you guys. Have a good one. Bye.